In this video, we're going to talk about the G.I. Joe Oktober Guard 6x6 custom vehicle. We're going to do an overview of the Oktober Guard and their vehicles, look at some reference and inspiration, look at the donor toy, do some modeling and assembly, then go over paint, and then take it for a test drive. If you grew up as a kid during the late 70s or 80s, there was no doubt who the bad guys were. It was the Russians. The Russians were the bad guys. And we had the heroes to take them out. You had Rambo, we had Red Dawn, we had Rocky Balboa. Everybody was fighting against the Russians, and they were the bad guys. So it's not surprising that G.I. Joe got a Russian team to fight, and that came in the form of the Oktober Guard. Very similar to G.I. Joe. You can see them appearing here in issue 6 of G.I. Joe, and then in yearbook 2, they appeared again. And you can see them riding around always in this 6-wheel vehicle, kind of like a little buggy that can go all-terrain and has a bunch of weapons on it. Now, when Hasbro gave us the toys, they never gave us these vehicles the way they did for G.I. Joe or Cobra. And so it's always been fun to make custom vehicles for the Oktober Guard. Now, while that 6x6 vehicle might seem fantastical, it's actually based on a lot of real-world vehicles. The British Army has a very similar kind of platform, a 6-wheeled vehicle, and then Venezuela and other South American countries use a similar kind of system, which is 8-wheeled, which allows them to go in almost any terrain. Now, fortunately for us, if we're trying to make this custom vehicle, there's a great donor toy out there already that meets a lot of our needs. Other people like Chicken Broth on his tank have already done it. And so I was going to use the same lanyard-based vehicle that then became a Buzz Lightyear vehicle. Now, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to Charlie and Jared because they sent me that Buzz Lightyear vehicle. We'd been talking about my desire to do another Oktober Guard vehicle because I'd done one before. And, we talked about this vehicle, and they had an extra one, and so they sent it to me, and to my surprise, they also threw in, an action figure and a bunch of little tools and other things, so that was just awesome. As you can see, it's pretty bare bones. There's nothing here. A lot of the window frames and the roll cage are all gone, but that's fine with me. I just really want the base, the chassis, and those 6 wheels as a starting point, and then this is just the perfect platform to build that Oktober Guard vehicle from. All right, so this is where it gets fun. We get to start designing our vehicle. So looking at the ref, we want a roll cage, something that will integrate well into the toy. Also a roll bar in the back, and then something to mount the large cannon on, which will be probably like a recoilless rifle, and then the big machine gun that's anti-troop and anti-air in a way. And then also some armor boxes or ammo boxes on the side, and then maybe a gas can on the front. Here, I gathered some ref for this SBG-9, which is a Russian recoilless rifle, and then some of the anti-aircraft guns that look similar to, what they were using in the G.I. Joe comics. And so, I went into the 3D package and started modeling this up, and a lot of it was pretty simple, just like tubes and cylinders. But I tried to capture that Russian feel, some of the details, like I think that barrel with, like all those kind of different like nubs, and then printed it out, and everything went really smoothly first try, which I love not having to reprint it again. So I mocked it up, I threw it onto the vehicle, with no paint or anything like that. Everything fit well, it felt in scale, and had that kind of Russian feel. The recoilless rifle is probably like a little big, but I kind of wanted to give it that toy-like feel. And, I threw a couple little like, those little, smoke launchers, like you'll see in a tank on one of the roll bars. And then places to just like grip it and grab it, so you could put, extra guys like riding on the hood or whatever. And then the ability to have these things kind of like rotate and pivot up and down. So, they'd be interactive and you could like aim them and, have some fun with them like a real toy. Everything fit well, so I used my my little pin drill to just drill out some of the holes that when you 3D print, sometimes things will fill with a little resin and not be exactly to spec. So I wanted 2mm holes. I'm going to use 2mm stainless steel bar for all the kind of pivot points and like the axles for these things to rotate on, and just drilling it out real quick. everything fit fine and worked really well. You know that it's going to be strong with the with this stainless steel there, and you don't have to worry about it, bending or breaking, or I get stainless steel just because it's not that expensive, and you don't have to worry about rust. And then you just put like a little dab of super glue at the end, and that'll just keep it from sliding out. And then I just need to prep some of the pieces for paint. I didn't want the barrel to have any of the print marks on the bottom, so it would look like pretty smooth and stuff when it was finished off. With most of the fabrication done, I went on to paint. So the wheels were, I think, what are they, like blue? And that was because of the Buzz Lightyear thing. I think the lantern one is black, so if you can get one of those, that'll be better. You can skip this step, but I did not want blue tires. So, I just like taped them off and plan to make those black. But I kind of like the green in the hubcaps, so I left that. And then I always use Krylon paint. I just like how it sticks to things, and there's a good selection of colors. So here you can see I'm giving stuff mostly black color, but then I'm going with two different green colors for some of the details on the upper chassis, and a darker kind of color for the main chassis. And that's where I hit the wheels with just like a nice kind of like, not pure black, I think it's like a really dark gray, just to give it a nice rubber kind of feel. And then you can see everything's like fitting together well, because we already did the fit test and knew it would work out. But seeing it with the color really, I think, makes everything look like so finished. And I was really excited at the stage. You can see there the chairs are kind of like a little bit more olive, and the rest of it's a little kind of more desaturated, kind of drab color. And then the gas can has more of that olive, just to get things to separate. If it's all the same color, just kind of all blends together, and just like little kind of differences of tone, a little darker, more saturated here and less somewhere else, really helps things pop. And then getting those ammo canisters on there, ammo containers, they just pop in. And I think I ended up just putting a little hot glue in there to make sure that they wouldn't come off. Same with the antennas and the roll bars. But I'm just fitting it up here, making sure everything works, and I'm just really pleased with this. This was another thing where I didn't really have to go back and like play around with any colors. I really liked how it came together from the start. And then getting those pins in there. So, I just took the 2mm stainless steel bar and just like cut it to length. And then just like I was saying before, you just slide it in. And then I'll put a little dab of glue on the end, and just be really careful not to let like the capillary action suck it in and then to the next item, because you don't want to freeze up that joint, obviously. And then there you can see it moves really good. It's kind of got that feel of the Oktober Guard weapon with that, the Russian, like the round kind of clip canister. And here is just it pretty much done. No stickers yet. I got some stickers from Toy Hacks. They actually had Oktober Guard stickers. And I'm just super psyched to see this vehicle. It does feel, I think, like that vehicle that's in that, in the comic book, that the Oktober Guard just kind of like roll around and, fight G.I. Joe or Cobra with. So, this is looking really good. There it is up against the other kind of BMP vehicle I made for the Oktober Guard. Let's take this thing out for a test run. It was kind of snowy when I finished this up, so you can see it rolls around in the snow, looks right at home with its complement of Oktober Guard figures on there. Get a little jump going. I actually made a video with this vehicle like years ago. I think I made this vehicle years ago. It's 2024 now, and I think I made this back in like 3 years ago or so. But it's just great. I love that it's smaller and compact, but still holds a bunch of Oktober Guard, and kind of to me feels like a Hasbro toy, like they would have made this. Anyway, I hope you guys like this vehicle. I hope you like how it came out. I hope you also enjoyed the video, and that we'll see you in the next one. Yo, Joe.